Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, I'd still be here talking football, but it just wouldn't work like it does. How you doing, William Perez? Charles, Extreme Archery. Oh, man. We got a Redskin fan in the house. You know what? This is one of those things that I hate to see, even with the Washington Redskins. I hate the Washington Redskins. I love to hate the Washington Redskins, but you hate to see a rookie running back lost for the season in a preseason game. After making a great run, man rolled up on him. Geis is gone for the year, ACL. That's the thing about preseason that you hate. You hate about training camp, that you lose valuable guys in meaningless games. And let's be honest here. It's just preseason games. It's meaningless. All you want to do is get some work, see some guys, and get out healthy and hope that you are ready for the regular season. So, a lot of people are going to overreact. Okay, and again, just understand where I am right now, okay? I'm happy as pie with what I saw from my starters. Doesn't mean it's going to translate to the regular season. We know you have some teams that'll go 4-0 in the preseason. Everybody gets on their back. Thank you. Jalen Smith, Derek Young, thank you for the super chat. Yes, Jalen Smith, I'm going to get to Jalen Smith. Looked incredible. Thank you for the super chat. We're doing a lot of upgrades to the channel, so any super chats that we get are very much appreciated, and you're going to see more and more stuff as this season gets underway. I plan on trying to make this thing huge. So you see how the set has changed from last year and the year before. It's because of your support. But it's preseason. And so haters are going to hate. I love the fact that so many people, regardless of what happens to the Cowboys, they're going to tell you Dak sucks. Okay, I got it. Okay, I understand that. For whatever reason, you guys don't like Dak, okay? We're going to go ahead and get Joe Boo a refill here so we can start this off right. So many people were so hyped about Dak Prescott in practice. Dak sucks in practice. Can't hit anybody. Can't get any touchdown passes. He is terrible. Need to have Cooper Rush starting. Or better yet, Mike White. He's the bomb. Okay. I said, listen, it's practice. Not a game now. It's practice. You work on things in practice that you suck on a regular. You don't work on the stuff that you got down pat. Listen, we know Zeke Elliott knows how to run up a hole in the middle. We know how to do that. We know how to open up that hole. We don't have to practice that a whole lot. All we know is give the ball to Zeke, let him go to daylight. Don't need to practice that a lot. When you get new receivers and you're trying to get timing on it, when you're trying to change the offense, you practice those things that you're not good at. So you're going to have bad practices. Everybody has bad practices, believe it or not. Drew Brees had a practice in 2016 where he threw 4 interceptions. Everybody thought, oh my God, is this Peyton Manning? Where he hit the brick wall? Is he losing it? And then threw 5,200 yards and 37 touchdowns. It's meaningless to a point. So, okay, I got it. I said that, and you're just saying, oh, you're just making excuses for Dak Prescott. Okay, fine. In limited play, Dak was butter. They said he can't throw a deep pass. Well, Michael Gallup makes a nice move, gets open, throws the ball right where he can catch it, right in the hands, in stride, gets a touchdown. So the same people who said that practice, he's not doing anything in practice, then turn around and say, oh, the sun was in the other guy's eye, so he stopped. Really? Really? Come on, man. Give credit, at least credit where due. David Short, appreciate it. Did Rico help himself last night on the touchdown run from Bo? Rico made a good block in there, so yes, he did. Raging Cajun, read between the lines, buddy. Read between the lines, okay? Because here's what I know. If Zeke Elliott is running the football, Dak Prescott doesn't turn it over, and he plays like we did last night, and the defense plays good, we can win a Super Bowl. I'm happy with that. Because you know what, Raging Cajun, even if you're hypothesis, you bum, even if you're, because I'm about to get indignant tonight, okay? So strap on. Lock and load. Because here's the thing. Let's say he is just average, which that means middle of the pack. That means 15th or 16th. Take a look since Troy Aikman left and tell me how many average or above average quarterbacks we've had other than Tony Romo. How many? Look at 2015, buddy. 2015, those guys were average quarterbacks with a great offensive line, with a decent running game, with a team that went to the playoffs. Those guys couldn't bust a grape. But Dak Prescott took that same team. The only difference is you got Zeke Elliott and took that same team that went 4-12 and went 13-3 and went toe-to-toe with 3 touchdown passes against Aaron freaking Rodgers in the playoffs. And had it not been for a miracle play by Aaron Rodgers and a brain fart by our coaching staff, we would have advanced in the playoffs. So you went from 4-12 with guys I consider average to 13-3. So get out of here. You know what? I'm sick and tired of you chumps that just hate on the guy. Why don't we see what he does during the season? Raging Cajun, Wang, whoever, Kevin Milton, Glock. You know what? All you guys go pound sand. I'm sick and tired of your stupid stuff. At least give the man credit and say, you know what? That was a decent pass. That was a decent pass. I like that. I hope we can see that because I believe that you jackasses want to see him fail. You're praying that he can fail. You're not Dallas Cowboy fans because you know what? It's about the star. It's about the Dallas Cowboys team, which has underachieved since the 90s. This team is young. This team is ready to rock and roll, and this team is hungry. Now, I don't know what the hell your problem is, guys, but I'm sick and tired of you chumps. And trolls, good Lord, I just don't know. It's like I got cockroach infestation with you guys. You know, it's funny because, again, I know it's preseason. All I know is my offense, first team offense, came out against first team 49er defense, ran the ball, not with Zeke Elliott, not with Zeke, with Rod Smith, and looked pretty good. I know the sea parted, Dak Prescott ran for 12 yards. Okay, I'm happy with that. Realize that's as much as I'm going to get. I'm going to be safe and not take a hit. I'm happy with what I saw. That offense right there that took up 6 minutes of time off the clock, I can win with that. I can win with that. I'm ecstatic about that. I know you guys want to see 50-yard pass plays all day long, but guess what? Drew Brees had 3 seasons that he threw for over 5,000 yards and ended up 7-9. We've had all these years of great years of Tony Romo, but what did we win? What did we win? What? 2 playoff games? Come on. And I know a lot of that's defense, but give the man a chance. 2 seasons, 22 wins. Now, here's what's funny, because I get trolls from other teams. This dude, Atlanta Falcon dude, Brethren, about to get a restraining order on him. He sends me emails. It's bad enough that I get comments on here, but sends I put him in the spam folder. He's sitting there joking about, oh, you're just making excuses for Dak Prescott. Ha, ha, ha. They lost against Atlanta. They lost against the 49ers. They gave up the game. And we even have Dallas Cowboy fans that are like, oh, man, our defense, man, we lost that game. It's preseason. It's preseason. You want to be the Redskins and lose Geis for the season, your running back? You want to play Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott and win in preseason and then don't have the guys for regular season? So, okay, he sends me an email today and says that, wait, actually, let me pull this up because this is almost funny. It basically jokes on our Cowboys and tells me how much I need to watch a real team like the Atlanta Falcons. You mean the Atlanta Falcons that had a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl and choked? That Atlanta Falcon team? We need to be like them? Come on, man. Come on.
Was it different than you expected? How would you describe what it was like?
Okay. Hold on here. Where are you? Let me go through here. And I know I shouldn't give the trolls any time, but his comment to me was, you can't even beat the 49ers inexperienced team. Shaking my head. I hope you finally shut it up now, laugh out loud. You were so hyped last night, running your mouth the entire first half, only to be embarrassed once again. Brother, do you understand football? Because I know you've been talking about, we got the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Yeah. Well, that's great for the quarterback, but is he the best quarterback in the NFL? Then he talked about, we're going to end up paying Julio Jones. We're going to have the highest paid receiver in the NFL. Paying guys a whole lot of money doesn't mean you're going to win, right? You understand that, right? The Redskins paid $100 million for Haynes Worthless, and he didn't bust a grape. You understand that, right? You understand that preseason doesn't mean that you win. Look, here you go. Preseason trophy. There you go. How about that? That's more than what you get for winning the preseason. Seriously. So, you're talking about my quarterback who threw a 30-yard touchdown pass. It's 17-0 at the half, right, Atlanta? Brother. If you take stock in preseason, you're getting your ass handed to you. Matt Ryan was 1 of 1 for -2 yards. So where are you at, man? Brethren, where are you? You've been talking all the smack. It's just preseason. I get it. I'm good. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for letting me go off on that tirade. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be like a volcano this season. Sometimes you'll just sit there all nice and pretty, majestic, ice on the top and everything else. But from time to time, I'm going to erupt. I'm just going to lose my mind. And when you guys haven't seen it yet, when I really lose it, it ain't going to be pretty. Thank you, Cody Allen, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, they're getting beat by the Jets. Now, at least the 49ers at least went on a win streak last year, if we go by your philosophy, buddy. The Jets? Ooh. Okay. Yeah, the Jets. But be that as it may, again, it's preseason. Don't take a whole lot of stock. You just want to see guys get some work in and get out healthy. And so far, so good on that front. Things that I loved in that game last night, like I said, I loved the way the offense had their identity. Control the clock, run the ball, play action. We bootleg Dak Prescott out. We're moving the ball around, and we're trying different routes and combinations. Michael Gallup. I love Michael Gallup. I got man crush on Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup has been looking fantastic in practice, and he showed. Boom. Look, great hands. Got a little speed in there. Good size, physical. Vosh, when we were at the draft, I love being I love being in Dallas. I love football. But sitting next to me, as soon as we drafted Michael Gallup, it's burned in my head right now. He said he will make us forget about Dez Bryant. And as Michael says, who? I say Dez Bryant. He says, who? Say, Dez Bryant. Who? I feel good about the receivers that we have. Even though the talking heads say we have garbage. Okay, all right, I'm cool. Here's what will be great for the development. If we open up holes, like we did last night, we run Zeke Elliott, who'll be on a mission, get 8 men on the box and get single coverage on those guys. Dak Prescott is a guy, if you guys say he's average, he's average, but we'll find the guy who is open. That's all you want. All you want. If he hits the guy who is open, you control the clock, keep that defense fresh, it's going to be unbelievable. Offensive line-wise, everything looked really good. Connor Williams right now is the weak link because, well, he's a rookie. 33 snaps. He gave up 1 sack. 1 pressure, 1 sack. That's it. I'll take that. He's learning. And the 49ers, they had a rush on him. They had some guys that were pretty good in there. Now, a lot of people go through the game and say, well, our secondary sucked and all that. Well, here's the thing. They've taken Anthony Brown. Excuse me, let me throw it a little dry from last night's live stream, man. I talked for like 4 hours. My voice is still sore. Wide receivers played really, really well. And again, our first team against their first team, we looked head and shoulders better than them. As we went down to second team defense started giving up a whole lot more. Anthony Brown has been listed as number 1 on the depth chart. That may change. I don't know. They may have just been trying to put him out there, try and get him a whole lot of work and see what they can really do with him. But had 2 bad penalties. Bad penalties on third downs. Definitely stock down on Anthony Brown. That wasn't Anthony Brown from his rookie year. That was Anthony Brown from last year. And hopefully he'll do better. Hopefully he will do better. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Stock also down. Chaz Green. I think Chaz Green's days are numbered. Stock way through the roof right now. Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, who I said last year that, are you sure you want to put your faith on a guy on one leg? I said, there's no guarantee that he's going to come back from that drop foot. The longer it takes for that type of an injury to heal, the less chances that was going to come back fully. Played all last year with the Ritchie brace. Ritchie brace is basically a spring to pull your foot back. Unbelievable desire, work ethic, attitude, everything you want in a football player. But if he was only going to be on one leg, to me, it was like he's only going to be able to do so much and work in certain situations if that leg doesn't come back. Well, lo and behold, the foot is back. He's been playing all training camp without the Ritchie brace. In fact, he lost it in OTAs. And last night playing without it. And he looks fast. I mean, fast. I said this in a couple of videos that the biggest play that told me all I needed to know was actually a play that didn't happen. Lined up in his Mike position in the middle. Obvious passing down. He sprints to the line and stops just short of the center on a dime. Offensive lineman, false starts, 5-yard penalty, backs him up. But the fact that he can plant his foot and stop on a dime is something he couldn't do last year. Something he could not do last year at all. You saw him pass rushing, get in the quarterback's face, get a hand up, tip the ball. You see him knife his way in the line, work his way down the line, get the running back, and deliver a blow. Jalen Smith is going to be the real deal. Hopefully they left Chaz Green in San Francisco. I wish they had too, but I don't think they did. I don't think San Francisco would allow it. I just think they would just say, sorry, no thank you. Take your trash with you. Let's look at some of our comments here. I see we've got Kevin Milton, obvious Dak Prescott hater. Jalen Smith is your second husband. Okay. My boy Solar's in here. Okay. Lance Lanier. Here's the thing. We had a lot of guys that stepped up and looked really, really good that gave you hope. Now, again, it's only the first preseason game, so don't take a whole lot of stock in it. But you looked at, like, Bo. Bo knows how to run, and Bo Scarborough, to me, reminded me of Marion Barber. The way he runs upright, of course, he's got the dreads. He was running with authority. So you feel like, okay, if something were to happen to Zeke Elliott between Rod Smith and Bo, you've got capable running backs with the offensive line we have. We feel good on that. Secondary, Anthony Brown, ooh, didn't look real good. But I still feel good about Lewis. I feel good about Awuzie. Xavier Woods, of course, I feel really good about. Still think there's room in here for a number 29. You know, for some reason, we don't have a 29 on our team. Did anybody get that? Nobody in the Dallas Cowboys training camp has the number 29. And see, that's not one of those Ring of Honor numbers, you know, like Emmitt Smith or anything like that. Kind of interesting, isn't it? 29 is the only one. Another person who definitely looks like he's turning a corner. Looks like we're going to have some crunchy tacos this year. Taco was able to put a whole lot of pressure on and definitely is moving around a little bit heavier. He's developing some moves, and that pass rush is going to be pretty fierce. We had a topper sighting. Forced fumble and fumble recovery. You got to like that. Jeff Heath wouldn't have helped us. Okay. Dak is Mr. 158.3 haters, perfect QBR. I know, but see, here's what they'll tell you. The other team was playing in the sun. It don't count. Practice counts. He's not throwing touchdown passes in practice. He can't throw over 7 yards. He's a dink and dunk guy. Whoa, I can't even read that one. But yet, Harold Cowboys, right. Taco was definitely putting pressure on. Now, what's funny is this. This morning, I'm watching one of the shows on ESPN, and they were talking about, we'll get to Van Der Esch. That's stock down. They were talking about the quarterback play. How did you guys feel about Jimmy Garoppolo's play last night? Jimmy Garoppolo, who got that second highest quarterback contract with 7 games, did he look like he was worth that kind of money? Because when I was looking at the passes, one of those first ones that he completed, the receiver had to reach behind him to get it. Other ones were real high. He did not look like he was anywhere near an elite quarterback to me. Now, again, maybe I'm a hater. Truth in advertisement, I'm a Cowboy fan, so maybe I'm a hater. But he didn't look that good to me. 3 of 3, 30 yards. But when they were talking about it this morning, they were like, oh, yeah, well, you know, he had some good passes and he looked good and everything else. And, you know, Dak was okay. And I was kind of like, whoa, time out. Stop right there. Time out. He was 3 for 3, 30 yards. They didn't do anything. Dak Prescott led you down on a picture-perfect drive. The only negative play in there was a sack given up by a rookie guard. Throws a 30-yard TD. And you said that these guys played basically the same? Huh? Am I wrong on that? Did I miss something? Now, I know it's only preseason, so let's not get too excited. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think, is way, way overrated. As well as, I'm telling you, Barkley, the highlights are, Barkley, stock up. 39-yard run. Yeah, he had don't get me wrong, beautiful run. Fantastic run. First play against the Cleveland Browns. Then he had 4 more carries after that and got 4 yards. Raging Cajun, I didn't say preseason counts. I've been truth in advertising. But if you don't say preseason counts, then how are you guys counting then practice? Can't have it both ways, buddy. Can't have it both ways. Take the smiley faces off, okay? And that was my point before when I was saying we're talking about practice. Who cares about what happens in practice? I mean, you want to practice good, but it's not the be-all. It's not like, we got to bench the guy because he's not doing it. So you think that practice is more important than actually playing than a preseason game. Omar, I don't think he's going to have the success that he had. I equate him to Scott Mitchell. For you guys, most of you are probably too young to know who Scott Mitchell was, but Scott Mitchell played for the Miami Dolphins when Dan Marino went out. And he ended up having a great season, went to the Detroit Lions, got paid, and then proceeded to go back to being average. I think that that's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Raging Cajun, you're more. So tell me, Raging Cajun, tell me what you do that makes you more of a Dallas Cowboy fan than me. I'd like to know, because you must be a huge one. The fact that I go around the country as a 52-year-old man with a voodoo doll that's dressed as a cowboy, it's kind of putting things on the line there. I'm just not a delusional sheep. No, you're just a pessimistic ass. How about that? Well, Parker, practice, there really isn't that much practice. There aren't two-a-days anymore. You have a walkthrough, and then you have a padded practice, and you only have about 15 padded practices, which is unbelievable. We'd have 15 padded practices in a week when I grew up. In fact, we'd had more than that because special teams were padded as well. And we were hitting in special teams practice. And that's one of those things that you look at now because of the NFL collective bargaining agreement, that there's only 14 padded practices during the season. So altogether, you're talking about 29 padded practices for a whole year. Raging Cajun, you're offended? Well, you know what? I'm offended with all your comments that you're always talking about our quarterback. I get it. Okay, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I get it. I'm just tired of hearing people that constantly, first thing they come in here, the only thing they have to say is, the Cowboys suck, Dak sucks, we need to replace them. Okay, I got your feelings on that. If that's how you feel, I get it the first 100 times. You don't have to tell me another 100 times again. The same stupid stuff. And I'm not a negative person. I deal with things when they come. If we start having a bad season and he sucks, I'm going to say they need to replace him. Bring in Cooper Rush. But I'm not going to go through here and all off season, every single video, go through and just trash the guy. It's the same thing with Jason Garrett. I'm not a Jason Garrett fan. But here's what I realize. Jason Garrett is our coach. That's not going to change during this season. Even if it did, more than likely, it's not going to help us make it to where we want to be. He's my coach right now. Can't change it. Not happy about it. But I'm not going to talk about every day. I'm not going to come here, Jason Garrett sucks. Jason Garrett needs to be fired. What good is that going to do? Right now, I'm hoping that Jason Garrett is the reincarnation of Tom Landry this year. I'm hoping that this year that he gets it. That he's going to be able to coach well. He makes changes. He's learned from his mistakes in the past. And when or if it stinks and we have the same results in the end of the year, I'll go to bashing him then. But I'm not going to sit here and just put all this negative energy, spend all of this time just literally trashing somebody. And that's what you do every single day, every single video, over. I get it. You don't like Dak Prescott for whatever reason. You don't want him as your quarterback. Fine. That's on you. That's your problem. Find a channel that agrees with you and go ahead and have a good time with them. It just gets to be ridiculous that you say the same thing over and over again. And even, listen, Dak is going to make mistakes. Dak's going to have good games, he's going to have bad games. When he has bad games, I've told you, Dak needs to improve. I agree. Dak regressed, but so did the whole team. Zeke Elliott dropped a yard per carry. Nobody's talking about Zeke Elliott regressed, are they? Are they? Tyron Smith definitely regressed. Couldn't stay on the field. Only thing you're talking about is the only person that you're saying screwed up is Dak Prescott. That's what I'm tired of, man. Oh, Dave Campa. Oh, geez. And that's what kills me. That's what kills me with you guys is you don't remember some of the stiffs that we had. in here. The bums, the Quincy Carters, the Drew Henson, Drew Bledsoe in the twilight of his career, Bernie Kosar. Damn, we even had the biggest bust forever of all time from the Chargers. You got a guy who's got 2 winning seasons back to back. Even in a down year, even when things sucked, we still had a winning season. And you're still not happy. On top of it, you're blessed enough that he wasn't a first-round draft pick that we had to move up. Ryan Leaf, thank you. We had Ryan Leaf here, guys. Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf, who was so stupid that he was injured and couldn't play with San Diego, but was out playing flag football that weekend. That guy. Yeah, we had him on the Cowboys. And for whatever reason, you guys figure, oh, we just get rid of Dak. We just grab another quarterback. We just grab another. Walmart has them. They're having a special on quarterbacks for the NFL. Chad Hutchinson, another one. I mean, you can go down the list. I mean, we kind of challenged the Browns there with some stiffs and quarterbacks there. Fortunately, Tony Romo kind of changed the narrative, but we had some real bums. You know, we did have Matt Castle, Brandon Whedon. Harold Cowboys Mart. If you disrespect, wait, I got to pull this back. Sorry, that went through. If you disrespect any player that wear the star, then you're a phony, boo-boo, fake fan, and troll, and wah-wah, grown little baby. Amen. That's what I don't understand. It's okay to criticize a guy, say a guy needs to be better. You look at Chaz Green and says, listen, if he can't block better than that, his ass needs to go. I agree with that. Anthony Brown, you got to do better than what you did, buddy. You got to do better than that. I agree. Dak, last year you came back down there with the rest of the team. You got to do better. You got to work harder. You got to make up for those things that you did wrong. But to go through and just say, he sucks, how is that productive? He's your quarterback. He's all you got. Think about it. We could have traded up to get Paxton Lynch. Paxton Lynch, how'd you like to feel? How'd you feel right now if we had Paxton Lynch as your quarterback? April Lee, you are 100% right. I think the Giants screwed up big time not taking a quarterback. Darnold in the draft. Eli, even if you think Eli's going to be okay for this year, more than likely you're never going to get up that high again to be the second pick in the draft where it's not going to cost you an arm and 3 legs. And I'm going to tell you, I think Barkley, and this may be the hater in me, but I think Barkley is overhyped. I think he's going to be the next Trent Richardson. That offensive line of New York's is not that good. I know they've got Odell Beckham and everything else, and you got the 2-time Super Bowl MVP, but I'm telling you, it's not going to be that easy. They just think that automatically, you just take a running back, you plug him in the same way they thought last year. Oh, you got Brandon Marshall, you plug him in, and, you know, their offense is going to be great, but it wasn't. Didn't work. Was in cap hell, it's changing. If you're talking about us, we're not in cap hell. Right now, we have $14.5 million in cap space that if we don't use on Earl Thomas, we'll roll over to next year. And right now, we have projected around $55 million in cap space for next year. So we're not in cap hell. Thank you very much, Ryan Kirk. First team defense, Ryan Kirk, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. The first team defense looked, the pass rush, the run stopping ability. A guy that not anybody is talking much about is Brian Price. 3 tackles, 2 assists. Nose tackle. You don't usually hear a whole lot about nose tackle, and their numbers, you know, when you look at a nose tackle's numbers, you say, okay, so we got 3 tackles. Understand this, if you don't know that much about football, The way a defense is designed is like this. It's not really designed for your defensive linemen to make all the tackles. What's your job to do on the defensive line first is to stop the offensive linemen to get off the linebackers. The defense is designed for the linebackers to read, react, and make the plays. So when you have a nose tackle, and I have been one that said, I want a big, fat, immovable force as my nose tackle, my number one technique guy, a guy who one guy can't push him out of the way. You got to double team him. A guy who, when it's a pass rush, he's in the quarterback's face, spitting fire. Because then your outside pass rush comes in, the pocket collapses, a Cam Newton can't get out of the pocket and run. That's what I want. I worry because what we have are more defensive ends that we play at tackle. The Cowboys have a prototype that they like. They like tall, lean guys, 6'4", 6'6", 6'8", and about 260, 270 pounds that are fast. And that's great when you're pass rushing, but if you have a team that runs the ball a lot up the middle, it's not good because that guy's getting blown out. That being said, Brian Price played really well last year till he got hurt, I think in week 4. And Malik Collins was kind of half injured, didn't play as well as he did the year before. But Brian Price, quietly, nobody's talking about him, but you will by the end of the year, if he continues to play the way he is clogging up that middle, and having 3 tacks as a tackle is good in only a half a football. That's incredible. Sarah Green, Timmy Willie Beam is a head roach. You're right about that. But you know what? Some of you trolls are actually my guilty pleasure because I almost enjoy some of the stupid stuff. Steambot warning: Dak Pied Piper is leading you down a disappointing. Okay, whatever, dude. 21-24, the team that misses the playoffs every year. So, Steve and Willie Bean, what did the Eagles do yesterday? What did they do? I know it's preseason, but chances are, and hopefully, we're not losing everybody in our defense, and we're going to go to second team. Because add to what we played last night, a Sean Lee. You put Sean Lee out there with Jalen Smith. Now, hopefully, Thompson actually played much better than Van Der Esch. Van Der Esch looked like a rookie out there. Van Der Esch's eyes were like this. From the time he ended up getting that interception out of bounds and ended up getting the wind knocked out of him, it looked like he literally was thinking. It looked like he was unsure. It was looking like he hesitated. When he was on the goal line there, you could see he was kind of like, okay, let me go. That's some of that hopefully is just the fact that he's a rookie and has only been in camp for 2 weeks. He'll get better. You got nowhere to go but up. So give him time. Don't start calling him a bust like you guys did with Taco last year, because I know last year you guys were all on, oh, Taco's a bust, Taco's a bust. Taco, I think, is going to be our defensive breakout player of the year. And I can't wait. Joe Thomas, I'm sorry, I said Joe Thompson. Joe Thomas definitely showed up. He ended up looking, I'm telling you, he looked much better than Van Der Esch. And to have him, if he continues to play that way, makes you feel better that if we do lose a Sean Lee, that we are not scraping the bottom of the barrel. Because let's be honest, last year, we basically got down to Jalen Smith. He played all 16 games because everybody else was nicked up throughout the season. Damian Wilson is also in there too, experiencing things, but he's kind of on the bubble as well. And if Joe Thomas plays the way he is, you might see Damian Wilson gone. Well, Cleveland, listen, Cleveland, I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm not. You really have to look at a guy 2 and 3 years down the road. Some positions are difficult to come out the box and play well with. Wide receivers generally take a year or two before they go. Linebacker is one you can usually have a guy come out and play pretty well, but it's still a lot to learn. Cornerbacks is another position that you can have guys come out and play and be impactful, their first year. And running backs are another one. So when you look at that, give the guy time. He's learning a new system. He's a rookie. Don't go out and start saying he's a bust. Right? It drove me crazy last year. Everybody was talking about Taco's a bust. Taco's a bust. He was a wasted pick. We need to get rid of him. What? He hadn't even finished half of a season. I think Robert Lowe, the key on our offensive line is if we can keep Tyron Smith healthy. Everybody healthy, but Tyron Smith is definitely the guy we got to have. Fleming, the second-team offensive line, did not wow me at all last night. We know Chaz Green. Chaz Green. Ooh. Yeah. Fleming has got to do better, and it's still early, but Fleming is our swing tackle, and we need him to be able to do a lot more than what he showed last night. Taco and D-Law with that D-line killing it, look good together. Van Der Esch, I'm not going to say he looked awful, but he didn't wow you. But here's where I'm looking at with our defense right now. You're looking at Jalen Smith, Mike linebacker. You're looking at Sean Lee, of course, weak side backer, which is the best spot for him because he is one of the fastest linebackers, especially white guy. Don't hate on me, but I'm just saying. He's one of the fastest white guys I've ever seen, sideline to sideline. You're looking at our defensive line with, of course, DeMarcus Lawrence, he is going to be something. He's looking for that $100 million contract, and he's going to try and bust the bank. He's coming out there. He's not holding anything back. He's going to make Bobby Boucher look like nothing. And Taco, I'm telling you right now, Taco is going to be a beast. I think they're going to take Tyrone Crawford and move him to tackle, and I think you're going to have Brian Price in there. But they will be rotating a lot of guys, and this is what I'm going to love because you do have a lot of good guys that you can kind of put in there. You're not going to drop off a lot of talent. You'll be able to bring in wave after guy and keep them fresh. So I think that's going to be great. Thank you, Jonathan. Oh, I'm sorry. Joshua. I don't have my glass. I can't. Like Jalen Smith, I lost my glasses. Thank you very much for the super chat. It helps the channel out tremendously. RG3 is going to win MVP. Okay, I'll drink to that. Well, Eagles won't win another Super Bowl for decades. It's hard to repeat. The Eagles don't. I'm not going to hate on them. They took advantage of what they had last year. They had the easier schedule. They ended up coming out. They absorbed injuries. They came out. They played innovative football. They kept people off balance. They won games they were supposed to win. Hats off to them. But I don't think they're going to do that again this year. And I keep saying, okay, predictions are they're coming back down. I think 9-7. That's what I honestly believe. They've got a tough schedule. We've got a tough schedule. But teams are going to be giving you their best. And I don't care what the experts say. I don't care what Nick Foles says. There will be a quarterback controversy started by the fans as well as the players because you can't tell me that Nick Foles, who was originally drafted by the Eagles, leaves, comes back, saves the day, and wins the Super Bowl, something that no other Eagle quarterback in their long history, being one of the longest franchises in existence, has done, won the Super Bowl. And that he's okay, that's okay, I'll be the backup. Are you honest? Would you? would you want that to be? And Carson Wentz, they're still playing with kid gloves there. But he's itching to get back. More than likely, he's going to pull an RG3. Not that I'm saying he's got the stop. I'm not saying the talent-wise of RG3. He's head and shoulders above him. But he's going to want to get back on the field. And I'm going to tell you, when you're a football player, in your mind, you can always go. Here's how crazy this is. The last scrimmage in the last quarter in high school, I had a scout from UVA looking at me. They wanted to take me from offensive guard and make me a fullback. I was about 210 pounds, could run a 4.6 40. In fact, I was faster than Mike Colbert, who's the high school coach at my old high school, Madison High School, who was our tailback. Beat him in the 100 in track. I tore my knee up, tore my ACL. Friday night, they took me to Fairfax Hospital. They x-rayed and said, you probably have a sprained knee, stay off of it for a while, and then go see your doctor in a week. Monday, I was trying to jog. I was ready to practice. Team was like, you can't practice. It ended up being, Jeremy, thank you very much for the super chat. It's amazing to see how far you've come. I've been with me, since 500 subscribers. Wow. Yeah, you probably have brain damage, Jeremy. I appreciate the super chat. When I had 500 subscribers, I used to actually have my Cowboys lawn chair over there in front of the TV, and I was doing the Benet Emery show. And I thought I was in tall cotton when I ended up building the set over here and had the one locker over there and things like that. And Jeremy, I appreciate, man. You got to have brain damage listening to me talk that much. Everybody, I appreciate all the super chats. I appreciate all the support from everybody here, and I can't thank you enough. But here's how crazy it is. I ended up having surgery on the knee. They went in, they said, we can't fix the ACL without cutting it open. They went in, they just basically cleaned it up. They said it looked like 2 mop ends. 2.5 weeks after having that ACL surgery, I played football. Told everybody, I'm good. No problem. 2.5 weeks after having my ACL taken out of my knee, I played football. Played the last 6 games of the season. My knee was just kind of like this, all over the place. But I still played. Because in my mind, I said, I can go. As a football player, you got a broken, I can go. And that's Carson Wentz right now. I can go. The Eagles are being wise and kind of slowing him down some, but he's going to get out there, and hopefully he doesn't do any damage, because it's one thing to go ahead and throw 7-on-7, but it's another thing when you got guys that are jumping at your feet and hitting you in the legs and things. Oh, Vosh is trying to Skype in. I'm sorry. Dan, I don't hear the headphones on here. Dan, sorry about that. Let's see if we can get Vosh back. I get talking and stuff and just kind of lose everything. Didn't have the headphones on, so I didn't know. That might be a little loud. Let's check this out. Okay. All right, Vosh, I'm calling you, man. Vosh.
Yo, what's cracking? Dad had Lombardi up in here. What's happening, yo?
Oh, man, you tell me what's happening, man. You know what? I am sick and tired of all of these damn trolls, man. The 80%.
The big problem, Mark, and I kind of understand where you coming from, because there was no trolling in your era. You know what I mean? And no, like real talk.
Oh, man, back in the Stone Age. I got you.
And I'm young, but I'm kind of sort of quasi old soul too. So I didn't understand trolling neither, because I was raised to say what I mean and mean what I say, Mark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I ain't never really just say stuff to get reaction. But what you gotta understand about these young folks is they will say things just to get you to react to them, just so they can get their little 15 seconds of fame. Paul, you gotta ignore that noise, dog. You gotta get that out of there, man. Don't even look that
Well,
way,
man,
man.
you know what? But see, I just get tired of the same comment. Dak sucks. He needs to get out of here. We need to go Cooper Rush, or we need to go.
You know what
It's just
you know what you need to
every
do?
single day the same
You
thing.
you need to open up your phone lines and make these people explain and make them sound stupid is what you need to do there, Mark.
You know what? You got a point there. I need to see it, and this is my problem because I am old. You know, you guys like Michael's got the great software over there to edit and everything else, and you go through and do all the this. I can't do that, man. I need to figure out how you do the whole computer thing with your phone calls in there. And you're right. I do need to open up these phone lines, but I'm afraid that I might get Mr. Booty Hole guy on here.
You can't be afraid of Mr. Booty Hole guy. You have got to bump heads with Mr. Booty Hole guy at least one time. But once you recognize that is him, get him out of there.
Okay, all right.
At least you'll know from here on out who he is, though. But I don't care nothing about Booty Hole guy. That's his business. Cowboys actually played some football yesterday, man.
Okay, so we know we're talking about a practice game. How'd you feel about the game?
So that's my thing, man. I saw everybody trying to live stream yesterday. I don't know how y'all do it, man. I don't want to work while I'm watching football. I like to sit
It's
down
not
and
easy.
digest.
Yeah.
I like to sit down. You had to think of stuff to say for 3 hours. I get sick of that. But
Wait. I actually did a pregame one while I was cooking chicken wings. Then I did another pregame watching the stinking Giants game, left for half an hour, and then did the whole Cowboy game. So I was like 4.5 hours.
I don't have that in me, man. But I did watch the game. I took a lot of notes. I kind of got my eyes on some schematics and things like that. I noticed our rotation. I noticed that Blake Jarwin was first.
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed Connor Williams learns from his mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear nobody say DeForest Buckner is a top-tier defensive lineman. He was a top 10 pick. Connor Williams deserved to lose one. I don't want to hear that because we think highly of this offensive line, and Connor Williams got to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So when we saw Connor give the sack up, he stopped moving his feet and he lunged because he ain't got a lot of confidence in his power just
Right.
yet. As long as he can step, read, and react, use his hands and his feet, he's good. So he learned, man, I can't lunge at a guy like DeForest Buckner because he's fast. He's big, he's strong, but he's also fast. So Connor learned to keep that head back, keep his butt down, and move his feet. And we ain't had no more problems out of Buckner the rest of the night. I noticed even after the Pro Bowl offensive lineman sat down, Connor and Lael stayed out there.
Yeah.
I like that. Keep them
working.
moving. Let them rock. I don't know if people noticed, but Tavon Austin and his first fake jet sweep to get the ball to Rod Smith. I noticed a lot of things going on there. So I like the direction that the offense is moving, man.
Mm-hmm.
Dak looked efficient, man. People want to know why Dak looks like trash at practice, but he looks good in game time situation. I like to subscribe to the notion that in practice, Dak does a lot of things that he wouldn't do in the game. Dak
Right.
is trying things at practice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you want to throw your interceptions. That's when you want to look like trash at practice. You want to try tighter windows to see if you can do it. You want to see
Right.
what a deep ball to Tavon Austin feels like, what a deep ball to Michael Gallup feels like. So when you get to the game, you know your distances and your leverages.
Yeah.
We can get a deep ball to Michael Gallup for a touchdown,
Yeah, you don't need to practice the things that you do well. You want to practice the things that need work. And that's what I keep trying to tell people. Oh, no, he can't. It's like, oh, God. And the thing that kills me is people will say that practice was the be-all, he sucks. And then when you looked at what they did yesterday, to me, that was a textbook drive, with the exception of the sack. You did exactly what you wanted to. You have a long, methodical drive. You kept the defense off balance. You're able to mix up some pass and runs, between short passes, and you lulled them to sleep to the point where they're running the ball. We got to put 8 men in the box. Now you're getting single coverage on guys. That's the perfect situation. And now you got the touchdown. The other team's thinking like, damn, they ate up a lot of clock. we got to hurry up and score. You're going to start making the other team one-dimensional where you can start turning our dogs loose. Because to me, I still say we're not big enough in the middle if we have to be in a lot of ground and pound games. Although, what did you think about Brian Price yesterday?
Solid. I don't like to overreact about our interior D line guys. People think that we're somewhat trash at
I didn't
D
say we're
line.
trash. I never
I
said we're
like
trash.
not you. I like Brian Price. I like Dayton Jones.
Mm-hmm.
People finally got their trash can full of dirt guy and Antoine Woods. And I like how he played. He punched Travis Frederick in the face and now he got a job. You can't beat that. That's the American dream, fam.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do like is that they were able to take on their blocks to let Jalen Smith and Joe Thomas run around here. I gotta watch Joe Thomas a little closer because that dude can play. Jalen looks fast.
Jalen,
you know what I mean?
I keep maybe I'm crazy, but to me, what told me everything I needed to know was where he ended up going from the linebacker position, sprinted to the ball. The other team ended up having a legal procedure, but the way he was able to just stop on a dime, that's something he could not do last year. He could not change direction. And like you said, dude is fast as hell. He may end up being a beast out there.
And he's still not 100% because he was looking a little funny when he had to drop and flip his hips to move to the deep middle, to his deep third middle for his Tampa 2 situation. And that's not even to say that he looked bad doing it. He just still looked a little wonky, like he's not as smooth as Van Der Esch or Sean Lee. But I will say, Jalen Smith looking funny turning and running when he started going straight. Boom. His ass caught there quick.
Gone.
Plus he's long, so the quarterback got to get that ball over there, and Garoppolo couldn't get the ball over Jalen. So
I gotta be. Garoppolo did not look good to me at all.
Hey man, because that Cowboy defense, man, what you think?
Okay,
what you think?
I think he is going to end up being, definitely well overrated. How do you feel about our secondary? Anthony Brown needs a whole lot of work, and I don't know that he should be the starter right now. He had those two.
Anthony, you got to let Anthony learn within his own self. We see good things from him, but it's just that when it's a handful of guys that when you see bad, you really see they're bad. Like if you see if a defensive tackle has a bad play, you won't see it. If a cornerback, offensive lineman, or quarterback has a bad play, you can't hide that. You know what I mean? So when Anthony Brown looks bad, he looks really bad. You know what I mean? He gets real handy. He'll get over aggressive. He'll try to overcompensate for that. But he'll get a little soft with his coverage or whatnot, and it just turns into this kind of pogoing thing of him trying to find his right spot. But he'll fix that with reps though. Cheeto looked a little, I wouldn't say timid, but he really didn't fully let it loose. I don't know if he didn't want to get hurt or something like that. But Cheeto will eventually get back into the swing of things. It just, takes reps. Byron looked good. The safeties were fine. I think Xavier Woods had a big play coming over the top. So the DBs look fine to me too, man. Something else too, I just want to address the chat box. They're asking about Leighton Van Der Esch. We're not going to see the best Leighton Van Der Esch in preseason. I think the best Van Der Esch we're gonna get is when he has his the first D line in front of him and Sean Lee next to him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Van Der Esch is basically out there by himself making a shake, and he looked a little lost, and that's fine.
To me, that's what I thought he did, because to me, he looked like he was thinking. And football, there's not enough time to think. You got to basically see it and go. And to me, it's kind of like, okay, now I gotta go. So he seemed like he hesitated quite a bit.
But when you out there with Sean Lee, that's one less thing for you to worry about. You ain't got to think. When Sean Lee tell you to run that way, your ass goes that way. What we did see from Leighton was great movement, great speed, great coverage. almost caught an interception, but he was on the sideline. He fell on the football, got a little wind knocked out of him or whatever. But he was in good position to make the interception on the sideline. So salute to Leighton Vander Esch. He'll be fine. Keep him in the mix
so.
too. Let him run around too. We got some good depth at linebacker.
But yeah, we got some great depth at linebacker, something we did not have last year. But you know how the 80% are. They're already ready to call him a bust.
Yeah, let him fly, man. He only played, what, 2 quarters?
Right. All right.
Quit playing.
Well, since you definitely focus in on the game more than me just running my mouth like I always do, Rico had, 19 plays yesterday?
I ain't got the exact number in front of me.
I think it was
but,
19. I did see him make a nice block on that touchdown run.
You know what I think we're gonna do a lot for Rico? I think we're gonna keep Rico as a backside blocker. I noticed a few times when Rico was in the game and he was blocking and we was running, like what I mean by backside block is if we running to the right, we're gonna put Rico ass on the left. Or if we running to the left, put Rico on the right side. You know what I mean? Like we didn't run directly behind Rico, and that makes a little sense. Swam is a better blocker. Jarwin is a better blocker. But Rico has learned. I tell you what he has learned. He's learned that he ain't got to have the best technique in the world. Rico's a big dude.
Just getting away. I got a picture from training camp because I was going through because I was focusing in on Bo, and he's learned that I can just literally stand in front of the guy and he can't get around me. And that's where I got a perfect picture. I got to go ahead and post that thing because literally that's what he's doing. They got a swing route outside. He's just literally just standing right in front of the guy. The guy can't get past him. And that's all you got to do. You don't have to have the KO knockout block every time.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're not asking him to be Tyron Smith because, to be fair, at the end of his career, Jason Witten wasn't that type of blocker neither. He was just good for a tight end. You know what I mean? Just getting away, man. But I tell you what, though, man, the word of this all season that I've probably used more than any other phrase or whatever is nuanced route running. Did you see my son, Michael Gallup? Catch the
Oh.
Did you see the route, though? Did you see the route, though?
But, it was only because the sun was in the cornerback's eye.
Oh,
that's what I keep hearing from people. Did you see the cornerback? Did you see what he did?
Those people don't know football, Mike. Those people don't know football.
Oh, God, really?
Mike Gallup ran his route and leveraged it. He leveraged it in a way that he made the cornerback flip his hips the opposite direction he was going. Then you notice once the corner flips his, Jimmy Ward, you notice when Jimmy flipped his hips, that's when Michael Gallup took the opposite direction. He leveraged the outside. Then you notice he used a tempo move. What I mean by that, he didn't go full speed. He kind of lulled Jimmy in. Then when he saw the ball in the air, he bursted. And that created the separation. People thought that Jimmy just got lost. Nah, Jimmy was in the right. He was in the right spot. Jimmy had great position. He was in his hip pocket. But that speed manipulation that Michael Gallup was using, he lulled him, then he bursted, and that created the separation, man. Dez ain't do that. Dez would just run and jump over somebody. You know what I mean?
I have said probably 20 times in the last week, quote from you. And that is because we were sitting there at draft day when they called Michael Gallup. You said he will make you forget about Dez Bryant. And I've told my people, they were like, Bosh. I said, yeah, Bosh said he will make you forget about Dez Bryant. To me, the hands, boom. I mean, the separation, we didn't see much separation ever with Dez. I'm sorry. Dez was never a separation guy. He was a big body that's going to do a jump ball. But to me, that speed that he's got, he looked like a veteran to me. And I know it's only preseason game number 1. There's going to be good games and bad games. But overall, I think we have a lot more talent in wide receiver than people will give us credit for.
Oh, man, Terrence looked good. Hearns had his catches. We weren't able to get – I think it was Cooper rushed on the ball. We weren't able to get the ball to Tavon Austin crossing the field, but you did see Tavon's speed, though.
Oh, my God, he is like shot out of can. He dude is fast.
Beasley didn't even play. I don't think.
He didn't.
But Lance Lenore just might make this team, man. he just may make this team.
The bad thing about this is I think we got a lot more talent than we had last year. I think a lot of the guys that won't make the team this year could have made last year. You know?
Yeah, true.
And we're going to let go some guys where it's like, damn, I can't believe that guy's getting cut.
That has a lot to do with Cedric Wilson tearing his labrum. I don't know how injuries and practice squad works, but I think you could safely put Cedric Wilson on practice squad, and not have to worry about
Okay.
nobody taking him. Or you can put him. I mean, I don't know. We got a certain number of IR spots, but I would want to save Cedric Wilson. I really like him, even though we drafted him late. He does bring some value to us. So I would try to hold on to Cedric Wilson. And Noah Brown's been hurt. So with him being hurt, Lance Lenore kind of got to get in where he fit in. And I
Hmm.
think he's been making it work.
Well, definitely. Now, looking at our defensive line, we got a lot of guys in here. I know how we feel about David Irving, which David Irving, we have not had contact with him at all during training camp. Do you think he can be lost in the mix?
Long as he not getting arrested, man. I don't even want people to trust the Cowboys strength and conditioning staff, man, because it happened last year. He'll miss 4 games. We get nervous, and David Irving be in shape, and he show up and he'll get 2 sacks that game or whatever. You know what I mean? David Irving is talented enough, and he'll be in shape when it's time for him to come back. Long as he not in jail, long as he ain't punching nobody in the mouth, long as he ain't lifting no shirts, he good. You know what I mean? So David's not gonna get lost in the shuffle. If it was that type of deal, he'll probably be cut. But the
Hmm.
Joneses ain't no fools, man. They're gonna hold on to that boy, and they're gonna work with his issues. They're gonna
Right.
work through them. And when it's time for him to re-up week 5,
Uh huh.
time to go. Load up.
I hope so, because I'm sitting there looking at it, because Taco, to me, Taco seems like he's got a whole nother gear in his motor, and it seems like he's beginning to develop some moves that we didn't see last year. Everybody last year, first half of the season, he's a bust, get him out of here and everything else. But I think he could be our breakout defensive lineman this year.
I will say, man, Tacos, we can thank DeMarcus Lawrence for
Mm-hmm.
all the things, because they're kind of the same guy, kind of like coming out of college. Taco was definitely bigger, but Taco was a bland ball of clay, just like DeMarcus was. DeMarcus had more raw skill, but neither one of them were technicians with their hands. They didn't string moves. They didn't set people up at all. You know what I mean? But DeMarcus Lawrence being that guy, and he's in the middle of his prime right now.
Oh
DeMarcus
my God,
Lawrence
he
is
looks
is
incredible right now.
he's just getting good.
Hmm.
So I think every time he learns something, he can walk over to young Taco and be like, "Hey man, you need the da da da." And we see Taco do things he's never done before. We see him
Hmm.
leveraging with his hands. We see him setting up his spin, not just spinning just to spin. We
Right.
see him setting up his spin now.
I tell you,
So
in practice when we were there last week, man, I saw him do an incredible. I wish I had it on videotape, but he basically he did kind of like a jab step inside and set the offensive lineman. He followed into him, and then he spun, and that spin was boom, just like that. Left the guy just like a cloud of dust. It was just like poof, he was gone, and he
mhm.
was right back in the backfield. I am really hyped on him. Um,
I'm not hype on Taco because Randy Gregory coming back, but
well,
I
there's no.
like him
Look,
as
I
a
tell you what.
rotational.
I tell you what. If Randy Gregory plays better than Taco there, the way I think he's going to, I'm happy with that. I'm cool.
Super, Super
Okay.
Bowl,
Yeah.
Super Bowl. That's Super Bowl, man.
Did
That's,
Bo move up on your list any running?
nah.
No.
Nah, and I'm actually gonna drop a film session on it simply because Bo Scarborough gets views. So I am gonna drop.
That he
So
does.
you can put that man name in the video. You gonna get the 20,000 off the rip. So I'm gonna drop a video. I actually got it. I just voiced it. I just got to edit it and put it out tomorrow with the Baker Mayfield Saquon Barkley film
Okay.
session. But thing about Bo, man, is he gotta realize he's not Barry Sanders, man. He not Barry Sanders. He needs new idols. He need to go watch Brandon Jacobs film. Brandon Jacob he realized, man, I'm really great when I'm going north and south.
Right.
Let me not go east and west no more. Unless I'm leveraging before I go north and south, let me only go north and south to see what happens. And we'll see Bo try to get cute. Remember on the goal line the first time he tried to get cute, tried to stutter step and set people up, and nobody fell for that shit,
Mm-hmm.
and they all caught him. But that second time around, he went very much. Even that
Just
big
went to
run
it.
that he
Yeah.
had, the big run going to the sideline, he broke a tackle, north and south, 5 yard game, north and south, 7 yard game. He got to learn that. But people saying, and this the big problem here. People saying, "Oh my God, I would like to have a big bruising back like Bo Scarborough." Man, you got a better bruising back on your roster already. His name Zeke. His name Zeke. When you need, he say, "Well, Bo could be our red zone back." No,
No, he wasn't Zeke in there.
Zeke is the red zone back. What we go, but we can give Bo the ball on 4th and 1. No, Zeke's that dude. So when you look at it, if Zeke is 1 and Rod Smith is clear number 2, Jameer Olawale has the clear 4 spot. He's going to be fullback. He's even catching passes out the backfield. Jameer ain't going nowhere. So now it's a fight between Trey Williams, Darius Jackson, Bo Scarborough. We may bring back Gus Johnson. Who knows? But he's got to be better than those guys. And where Trey and Darius have where they have the advantage is that they'll go run and tackle somebody on kicking game where Bo won, where Bo won't. They block better than Bo. Strangely enough, Bo, he probably the biggest running back on this roster. They block better than Bo. And they're better catching the ball. You want to know why? Because when we catching swings out the backfield, we got to go east and west. Bo can't go east and west. And I really like Bo. I really do like Bo, but let's not let the Alabama body, shroud us from what's really going on here. Now, if you can put Bo on the practice squad and leave him there, then we can kind of leave him there. But as far as making the team, pray to God we don't consider Tavon Austin a running back. You got a whole nother problem you got to worry about. So,
oh man, okay. So Cleveland Brown wants to know: did Bo ask my daughter out, and that's why you hate him so much?
I don't hate Bo. And look, to be fair, this isn't new bias because you can go watch my college assessment of Bo, and I'm saying the same things there. He can't go east and west. He's very north and south. He needs to block better. He needs to catch better. Film don't lie. I saw the videos with you and your daughter though, but I'm not thirsty, so I ain't really jump in there. But salute to y'all. I'm glad you got a chance to be with your family. Glad Mike got a chance to be with his sister. Salute to y'all.
We had a great time out there in Cali, man. The weather was fine. In California, it's just like a playground out there, man. So much stuff to do. But all right, so we've got a little taste of what we have on defense.
Yeah.
Do you think we have the makings with what we have right now to be a top 5?
People call me biased when I say the Cowboys can be a top 5 defense, but shit, there was a top 8 defense last year, and we got better at every spot, in my opinion. We got guys coming back, and man, look, can we just knock on some wood, some plastic? Man, look, if I can get 19 games out of Sean Lee, he can retire, and I won't cry. I won't cry because if I get 19 games out of Sean Lee, we going to the Super Bowl, man. If that defense can have Sean Lee for 19, that's including all the postseason joints and all that, we won't have any problems, man, because he'll keep everybody on task. I feel good about the corners. People worry about the interior D-line. We got Rod Marinelli. He can put me at 1 tech and we'll be fine. We got like a top 3 defensive end in sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence coming back. Even if Randy come back and get 5 sacks, that's 5 sacks.
Number 1 in pressures last year with 52 in the NFL.
That dude's coming back trying to make his money, man. Randy, I like Tyrone Crawford. I did a video on him. He's a pivotal piece to keeping Sean Lee from getting blocked. Let him fly. David Irvin's gonna come back and get 10 sacks in 9 games. Whatever, man. I feel good about this deep. Sure, we could. Mark, damn it, we was top 8 last year.
Yes.
And got blew out 3 times.
The key to me is turnovers. Damn it, we need them damn turnovers.
Mark, we got blew out 3 times, and we didn't have Zeke for 6 games. What are we doing?
And then we didn't have Sean Lee for some games too, because and we know how many yards we gave up on the ground when we didn't have Sean Lee. Good Lord, I agree with you 100%. Now, you still feel okay with the guys that we have on the roster for safety?
I don't have a problem with that. I never have a problem with safety. I don't even like the Earl Thomas conversation because people want to give up 2s and 3s for Earl Thomas. I wouldn't give up a young Connor Williams for Earl Thomas. I wouldn't dare trade a brand new Michael Gallup fresh out the box. We get Connor Williams and Michael Gallup for cheap, and they young. for Earl Thomas. Now, if it's low hanging fruit, like Okoye say, man, you want to go throw a 5th round pick and we can go get Earl Thomas, sure. If not, then wait on Earl Thomas. It's never about the money. We can find we can push a button on Tyron Smith and get $10 million and find a way to get Earl his money. It's not about his money. This organization values picks.
You actually have a couple of triggers there with Zach Martin as well there too that we can hit.
Man, it ain't about the money, man. We value picks, and I ain't trying to give up no 1s, 2s, or 3s to go get Earl Thomas.
I would never. 3 is as high as I would want to go.
He gonna be a free agent anyway next year. Just come play for Dallas, Earl. Come on, we'll pay you.
All right, okay. All right, so any concerns that you have on this team right now? What
health and arrest. As long as we don't go to jail, as long as we healthy.
Oh man, don't even put that one out there. Well,
I mean, not gonna plastic.
I tell you what, you're bringing up health. I've said it a couple times now. I think Marcus Paul, I don't know if he's putting something in the water or whatever. For the first time, we're not seeing a rash of hamstring injuries and a lot of these soft tissue injuries that we normally have. You think back to last year, Switzer couldn't practice. You couldn't see, Wuze didn't get on the field really until the middle of the season. Every time he got out there, his hamstring got pulled. So far, we've been actually very fortunate on the injury front, and I'm thinking maybe the change in the training staff is part of that to take credit for. What do you think?
We doing yoga now, baby.
I'm telling you.
We getting that stretch in. I do think the change, and I didn't even know that these people got fired till like last week. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Like, okay.
That's been one of those things I have said for years because I wish somebody would do a study because it seemed like we had more hamstring issues. It seemed like every week we had somebody new with the freaking hamstring. And I'm like, what the hell do we need to put ballerina bars or something up in the practice and just have these guys stretch or whatever it is? But we always had Sean Lee forever pulling his hamstring and stuff. And I kept saying this over and over and over again. They fired the staff. They brought in Marcus Paul from the Giants. Yeah. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the change in weightlifting techniques or more stretch, whatever, thus far, keep your fingers crossed that we can get everybody healthy going into the season.
I think the last few times Sean Lee's been hurt, I think it's been like stuff like that. Soft tissue, you know what I mean? Like,
concussions,
things like that. Like he had his major injuries when he was playing middle linebacker, but since he moved to weak linebacker, it's only been that. So man, if we can cut that situation out, hopefully Sean Lee can play all the games this year, man. I'd be ecstatic if Sean Lee could play 19 games this year.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I'm excited for the season. We got a tough schedule to go. Where do you, like I said, here's where I go. I believe that the Eagles are going to come back to earth. I still think the Giants, we usually have teams that go worst to first. I don't think the Giants are going to be that team this year. The Redskins are still the Redskins. Where do you think the Cowboys are going to end up this year?
I can't predict the future, man. Who do you think I am, man? Who do you think I am? Mark.
Just guess. What do you think? I
don't like guessing. I'm a logic guy. I need evidence. I'm a scientist. I don't guess. What do you mean?
Predict, man. You're okay. You can't say anything. Okay.
I'm not predict guy. I'm film dude. Because the minute I be predict guy, somebody gonna come back and find this video and be like, "But I said the Eagles gonna."
Hey, I put everything out there, and they can find anything. I said last year we were going to be 10-6.
I think the Cowboys will be a very good team next year, assuming injuries and arrests don't happen. I think there's a possibility that injuries and arrests won't happen, so we're good to go.
Well, if we have that and we have a few calls maybe go our ways, like maybe getting some holding calls on the opposition, some of these games, and maybe a bit of luck, I think we can be 11-5 personally.
As long as we can run the ball and play defense, man, I ain't worried about nothing. Nothing.
You're not worried about anything?
Nothing.
All right, you heard it. You heard Vosh. He's not worried about a damn thing.
And we got to cut Chaz Green, too.
We
got to go ahead and cut Chaz.
How is it he's still out there?
Well, people been asking me that, too, man. And I hate, I'm not pro-Garrett guy, but I'm not anti-Garrett guy neither. And people like, boy, Jason Garrett love to call to his players. He need to cut Chaz Green. Well, who the hell gonna play right tackle for the rest of camp? God damn it! Let the man finish. Let the man finish.
You do need camp bodies.
Let him finish camp get cut like everybody else, man. Like quit being like we brought in his replacement, Cameron
Raging
Fleming,
Cajun. Read
and
between the lines, dude.
I think we like the kid from Iowa too, 63. I was watching a couple of Twitter clips on him. The kid from Iowa looks solid. We can't carry all these guys on the roster, no way, man. And, Joe Looney got a spot, Marcus got a spot,
Mm-hmm.
Fleming got a spot. That's 8. I don't see us carrying 9 guys. Chaz ain't gonna have no
No.
spot on this damn team, dog. Come on now.
How do you think Fleming played last night? You probably watched it a lot better, more than I did. First
Say
series,
how did Fleming play?
yeah.
I wish he'd have moved his feet a little more, man. If you can give Cameron Fleming Chaz Green feet, we'll be fine. But Chaz soft and he don't like to move them. But Cam will stop moving his feet, catch you, and just
Kind
ride
of
with
lean
you.
into you, yeah.
It's a very ugly block that he has. Chaz actually has great feet, contrary to what people believe. Chaz has great feet and great hands. He just don't know how to use the shit. Marcus know how to use ugly blocks. He blocks people in a very ugly way. So I mean, he's solid, man. He looks like our backup swing tackle.
All right.
I tell you what, though, besides him and besides Connor and besides Layell, the rest of the offensive line is trash, and Cooper Rush don't deserve that.
Okay.
Cooper Rush didn't deserve all that being chased around he got last night.
Who you think had the better game, Cooper Rush or Mike White?
I got to watch that one more time in full to really get a good idea of that. But Mike White did have a good game. Cooper Rush started off slow, but he eventually kind of sort of got it moving again. But he definitely wasn't the Cooper Rush that got people losing their damn mind last year talking about some replace Dak with Cooper Rush. He definitely wasn't that guy. But I think part of that has to do with his offensive line, his backup offensive line being so trash. So quit trying to sit Dak for the backups, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Again, that's that 80% that no matter what Dak does, he's trash. The Cowboys, I can honestly see the Cowboys going to Super Bowl and winning, and they'll say, "Oh, it wasn't Dak; it was Zeke Elliott, the offensive line."
I just want to pause and say, since you got 313 people watching right now, y'all can go follow me on YouTube, Vash Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I drop film, I put it on the screen. I think I'm pretty okay at it, and I got jokes on Twitter.
But you sold me. You sold me at the draft because that's got to be an annual thing. Because a lot of you guys are new to the channel and things like that. We did a road trip to Dallas. We got an RV. We had DMV Dallas Cowboys. We had Michael Anthony Fitness. We had E2 Blue and stuff. We drove to Dallas. We cooked 80 pounds of chicken wings and stuff, and we broadcasted from Dallas. And I had my man there right there with me. This guy knows everything. It was so easy for me because I could sit there and say, okay, we just drafted Michael Gallup. What you know about him? And he's just like a machine gun, just spitting out facts and stuff about the guys and knows everything. His thing is before the draft, you go to his site, you will find out everything you need to know about anybody and everybody. Dude should be working on one of the major networks. I'll be honest with you.
One day, man. One day we'll get there. I got this dream, man, that I'll work for ESPN for like 3 years, get fired, steal their following, and bring them all back to YouTube where they belong. So
I still believe this is the future of sports right now.
100%.
To be able to cater to exactly, to be able to have interaction directly and things like that. I love it. I am no expert like my man Vosh. I don't have the time to spend there and do all that film breakdown. I don't have the technological, boy, that's not even a word. Don't have the skills to use today's technology to do all that film work and stuff. I'm just a guy who loves the Cowboys and loves to talk and never shuts up. So that's why it works for me. But to me, this is the way that sports is going. I mean, like you, Law, some of these other guys out here are just killing it and bringing real knowledge and stuff. I get so lost and disappointed now when I watch ESPN because they're a shell of what they used to be. You used to could really go to those guys and get real knowledge and stuff right now. Now it's more like a reality show, man.
Yeah.
Just straight garbage.
And like I said, man, the only thing that I really look up to ESPN in any way is the following. They've put in the work over the years. Salute to them. And, we're kind of new in the game.
Oh,
but,
without a doubt.
You can cut on ESPN. They'll be talking about the Cowboys. You go, oh, so they talking about the Cowboys. Let's see what they talking about. And they talking about Zeke's hair. like what or like what somebody's wearing or something like that. Like, oh, look at Dez Bryant tweeting whoever the hell Jenkins with the Browns or whatever. That ain't football, man. When you can come to YouTube and find us really giving you raw football opinions that we believe in. We don't just create a narrative to get attention from people. I've learned how this thing works over the past couple years, and it's sickening. If the head of the show has an opinion, the second of the show got to have the opposing
Opposite.
opinion. They got to be fake. They got to be fake just to sell themselves. When you hear me and Mark fuss about Jason Garrett, damn it, I really feel how I feel, man.
And I really feel like he should have been fired a long time ago. But
And that's
Vosh
fine.
believes Jason Garrett will get us 11, 12 wins, and you don't know what else is out there. That shit is real.
ain't no crawfish in me, dog. Everything I say is for real, bro. And
that's me 100%, man.
There's a piece of me, bro, that feels like if I work for ESPN, I can't say stuff like y'all hoes got Michael Gallup messed up. I can't say words like I can't say did you see Connor Williams block the shit? Keep Rico Gather's ass on the left side. I can't talk like that. So my big dream is to take them fans and come back to this platform and be my own boss, man. That's the dream. I don't want to work for ESPN and get fired for having an opinion. Forget y'all. I'm trying to take your fans and wait till cable shut down, bro.
Okay, you might not want to put that out there to the internet.
No.
Because, wait a minute, he's only going to be here for a little while. But, it's all good. But I'm excited about this. I am happy that we are finally actually talking about games and guys on the field and everything else. So, again, guys, everybody check out Vosh. My man knows his shit. And you getting ready to do a breakdown, you said on Bo, of course, because Bo always does well.
Go get them views. I'm dropping that tomorrow.
All right. And with that being said, you got 30 minutes overtime here tonight, so it's past my bedtime. I got work I got to do tomorrow because they always tell me don't quit my day job. I want to thank everybody who came in here. I want to thank everybody, especially for the super chats. We're going to take that money. We're going to put it back in the channel because we're going to keep on growing. Like my man who's been in here since I guess had 500 subscribers and stuff, you've seen how the channel's changed and come up. We're going to be building just like the Dallas Cowboys for this season, and hopefully it's going to be a great one. As always, I will see you guys real soon.